flags out on another Go Fast podcast. We're glad you're with us, whether you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, or on one of the podcast platforms. Rob Hinckley, Brett Severson, and we are glad you're here. And boy, it was a busy 4 days of racing, and we've been working some more today. Even busier coming up. We got lots to talk about tonight as we go back and forth about the Fall Bash, the Bull Ring Invasion, and everything else going on in the world of motorsports as much as we can. Let's put it that way. And we start out like we always do with our news and notes and results. Team done right. Over the weekend, Roberts Motorsports cars were off. But Jeremy Roth, he wasn't off. He won one of the pit bikes in the drawing. So way to go, dude. You got one of the pit bikes, mini bikes that Done Right was giving away at the Fall Bash. But anyway, the race cars weren't on the racetrack, but they'll be back to MLRA action this coming weekend at Lucas Oil Raceway in Wheatland for the 7th annual Fall Nationals there. Tyler Soppe, wow, what a great weekend at the Fall Bash. That Shaw race car made all the difference in the world. How about a second on Thursday, a win on Friday, and he was in the hunt on Saturday and ended up second. And both of his losses were to Braden Carter.
Yeah. Yeah. And that car was moving, so they definitely went a step in the right direction on that one.
He did a great job, Tyler Soppe, with a second, first, and second at the Fall Bash. Now, time now to go around the track and around the room, just takeaways on the weekend. And me and Brett Severson, where do we start?
Well, yeah, that's just it. I mean, it was a lot of racing, a lot of hours, a lot of, I know you guys were there the whole time. And yeah, it just was, I was ready for bed last night when I got home from the bull ring. So.
I'm ready for bed tonight.
I'm ready for bed too.
Yeah, but most of us were there by noon or a little before on Thursday, and I made the trip home Thursday night and drove home after the race Saturday. But other than that, from just like you, 11 o'clock or so Thursday morning until about 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday.
I think the earliest I got home this year was. I went home every night. I stayed up there 1 year. That was a mistake. You don't get any sleep, so I might as well just go home. So, but I think 2:30 was my average time of getting home. So.
Yeah, and well, I was lucky because I was in the Done Right motorhome, and we were inside the gate.
Yeah. You were away from the trouble.
We were away from the trouble. Yeah. So, but it worked out great, and you know what? One of the things, the first takeaway was Saturday at the Fall Bash. Rains all day long.
Rains all day. Yep.
And I talked to Dr. Al first thing in the morning, and first thing in the morning on Saturday, and he said we haven't, we just got ready to take the rain. We knew it was coming, and that's what they did when the rain finally stopped, and we kept watching it, and finally did.
Yep.
They got out there working in, and we were ready.
And that's what he kept saying is, as long as it quits, give me a half an hour, and I'll have this track ready to race. And I don't even think it took a half hour. I mean, they went out. And I think it quit right around 7, and they were on the track by 7:15. And it seems to me that about 7:30, 7:45, we were dropping the green flag. So
it worked out well, and I was in the production area. So I didn't count how many cars went out there to pack, but I think we had 154 total, and there had been a bunch that was out there.
And, and that's the thing about that group of people. I know there's a lot of back and forth on packing the track, but those guys went up there. They want to race. There's no quit in Ryan and Tim, especially when Al's around. If Al says it ain't gonna work, it's not gonna work. So if he's still saying we can make it work, there's no quitting them boys. And the people that come up and support the shows are going to go out and do whatever they have to do to make it happen too. So
yeah, Ryan Doom and I had that conversation probably a dozen times from Thursday to Saturday, and he said, "We're going to get this in. So if we're racing at 3 o'clock in the morning, we're going to get this in."
I don't think I've ever been racing at 3, but we've been close.
I had one race when I was announcing in Danville, Illinois. Living in Indiana, they put on a big 5,000 to win modified race on Labor Day weekend, and it had rained. I mean, literally for 2 weeks straight. And well, it seemed like it. We got there, and it was supposed to stop. They run it on the Sunday going into Labor Day, and they were going to run it and got to the racetrack about 10 o'clock in the morning on Oh, got the cam link on. Oops. Echo. And I unplugged the headset. I had the cam link sound on. So
You guys still got audio?
yeah, as far as we know, we got audio. Yeah, it's still popping here. So so that Sunday night we got there. We finally got racetrack cars on the racetrack at 9:00 on Sunday night, and 107 UMP back then it was UMP. UMP modifieds, and we threw our final checkered flag, I think, at 4:30 in the morning. And it was a big $5,000 to win show. Jimmy Owens won that year that I announced it. But anyway, $5,000. But that's the longest I've gone is 4:30.
We had one with the Dark Side guys up in Lancaster, Wisconsin. It was the, I believe it was the Tommy Greenwood, that it rained to start the night off. And it rained right as we're getting ready to do hot laps. And it rained heavy. They worked the track in. Well, then we had a Farley deal like we did a few weeks ago where the power went out. Only on half the track, so we could race half of it, but we had to stop on the other half. And then a couple accidents, and there was a good hour and a half delay, and it was probably 2:30 in the morning when we finally finished up. So
well, and actually we threw our last checker flag Saturday night earlier by 2 minutes.
11:50 something, 11:55 or something like that.
11:55, and we've been done at 11:56 and 11:58. Yep. Previous 2 nights.
That's one thing I'll give the shout out to Doug Hack on is, there's nobody around here better than moving a show like him. So sometimes it gets aggravating, but he still does it.
Next time, though, let the camera guy get back up in the boom before you start the feature.
I noticed the boom come down a couple times, but we have to take it.
I mean, the first 2 nights they wouldn't give me a break, and then
what now? Welcome to my world. I don't get any breaks.
And another takeaway, just hanging out. I mean, I did do the hanging out part on Friday night and stayed up there and just, we had a few and went watched the band and then headed over to the big bonfire they always have.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, let's head back. And I looked at the clock, it's 5:25. So
that
can't be right.
That's why I go home every year.
That can't be right, but it was fun. It was fun talking.
Oh yeah, it definitely is a party atmosphere up there. It's one of those you go to a party and a race breaks out.
Exactly. I put that on our website also.
Yep. and it's truth.
For the fans that attend, it's a party and a race breaks out. And for you watching at home, you get to see some of the best late season racing.
Now there's something for next year. Have the party cam for afterward, but that could get a little R-rated. So
put it on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, good deal. Anything else on the fall bash that?
You know what? There's a lot. Just the car counts. The Saturday, we did start. We had a real good car count still, even with the rain. But we had one better, and they just slowly started taking off. And I get it. Even though the track was in good shape, you hit that grass when it's wet like that, and you hit the brakes, and the car picks up 100 miles an hour. So there's a lot of guys that were just worried about it and said, it's not worth it. I don't want to risk killing myself or destroying my car. Well, we still ended up with, 154 that night, I think.
Well, we matched the biggest race close to us as far as car count.
Okay.
And they didn't have any rain.
And they didn't have any rain. Okay. But just the people sticking around, and nobody was mad. Nobody was complaining. Everybody would just come up. What's the word? I don't know. I know is what you do. Got to wait for it to stop raining, then we'll know. Dr. Al still says we're good. And so, just the people that came up there. And granted, probably a lot of those were camping. Although I did see a lot of people pull out after the races Saturday night. So
yes. Yep.
That pit's cleared out pretty quickly when it was all over with. So,
well, a big thank you to Ryan Doom and Timmy Current, Dark Side Promotions, for having us from Dunright up there. And I know I was warmer than you were.
It got chilly. It got chilly.
Yeah. One thing, the other thing, and Bibster and I have been talking about this for a couple months leading up to the fall batch. The over-under on layers.
I was under.
Were you under 6.5?
I had 3. Well, if you count my underwear, I had 3 on the bottom and 3 on the top. So I was 3 all around. So
nice.
But it was cool. I could have went one more layer, probably even 2. So.
Well, I was in the warm, comfy area of the production truck, or the production RV, so pretty much all weekend.
And this guy's up in the lift by himself, going, "I gotta go, guys! Somebody help!"
And how many layers do you end up with on, Kelly? Do you remember?
Which night?
The coldest.
The coldest night, I had 3 on the bottom, and I think 4 or
Wow.
I was hot for a minute.
Wow.
Just a minute, though, right?
Just a minute.
Well, that's what Bipster said too. He said he had 3 or 4 up top, but he was kind of running around back and forth to the infield.
Yeah, he was down in the tower there quite often
So he
throughout
said,
the
"I'm
night.
actually warm." And the most I got was 5. I was out on Friday night and out and about and just seeing if Kelly was ever going to get a break and spell him, and that didn't work. So I was down helping with the setup, the Done Right setup, when we had the race streaming and all that. So I think I had 5 on at that time.
Yeah.
So
I think Saturday for me was the worst. Sitting down there at check-in because it was wet. It wasn't so much it was cold, but everything was damp. All our papers were damp. The computer. I had an umbrella set up just covering the computer. It's raining on me, but the computer's alive, so that was the most important part. But yeah, Thursday night was brutal towards the end.
Yep.
And then you get up there, score, and your hands start cramping up. It's like, we got to go.
Oh.
And then when you get long green flag runs, it's like, when there's a yellow, you can stick your hands in your pockets. But you get a long green flag run, it's nonstop. So
the big boys chiming in here: long johns and jeans, long sleeve tee, short sleeve tee, hoodie, double socks.
yep,
I think that was common for everybody.
that was pretty common. Yep.
Yeah, I did have 3 pairs of socks on Thursday night, and I didn't need them, so I just went to the 2 pair on Friday and Saturday. But yeah, it got a little chilly, but we expected it.
Oh yeah.
We expected it.
I kept trying to get him to drag when we were doing check-in on Friday because of the rain. I kept trying to get him to drag the fire over closer to it because I could feel just enough of it to know it was there, but it was like not enough to do anything. So
That's right. But I tell you what, that bonfire on Friday night after the races, right there in the middle of the pit entrance, you didn't need any clothes on at all.
I'm
It
sure
was
you
hot.
didn't. I'm sure you didn't.
But the funny part of that one was that some guys were, just to keep the fire going, they were dragging over old tires to them,
Ooh.
and some of the the lower budget racers are going,
Wait a minute, I could use that.
that.
I could use that.
But they didn't get there in time, so they burned up a few tires and that.
Probably shouldn't say that too loud, but that might be against the law here or there. I don't know.
That fire was so hot, I mean, they disintegrated.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yes, they did. Hi, Joe Bonnie. And
Hey, while you're there, since you just said Joe Bonnie, I'd like to send a big shout out to Joe Bonnie. He put the Terry Neal Brad coin wrap on his car for Saturday night.
Yes,
that
he
was
did.
very cool.
Pulled out the modified.
There was a lot of people up in the scoring tower that really appreciated seeing that.
Oh, and of course, Scott from Double Cheeseburger Racing, shorts for me.
Sure, yeah, okay. And I believe it.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
And probably one sweatshirt.
And maybe, and probably, one of his famous sweatshirts. Hey, we also had the bull ring last night. A couple things from there on my end. I thought it was a great mix of dirt car, don't call it UMP, and IMCA cars.
It was. It started off slow. I kept looking at the entries. I'm like, so this isn't much different than a normal night. And then some of the UMP guys, Donovan Lodge and who was the sport mod kid,
Brandon Bollinger.
Bollinger's boy, come up in there. And so, yeah, it was I didn't get to see any of the racing because we were taking care of issues in the pit shack, but from what it looked and from what I heard, it was pretty exciting.
Right. Joe Bonnie says if you're burning tires, you're just burning plastic.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And thank you, Joe. We appreciate your support of Done Right and everything that we do as well. And that was one of my other takeaways. Donovan Lodge and Brandon Bollinger both picked up wins last night.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them hadn't been there in a long time, but both grew up there at the
Well, that's when Donovan checked in. I'm looking like I know this guy, and then he said his name. I was like, man, it's been a lot of years since I wrote your name down.
Absolutely, and I got to see him quite a bit when I lived in Indiana. He'd come over and run the dirt car stuff, and back when it was UMP, and saw him at Farmer City quite a bit. And of course, Brandon Bollinger's dad's the great Ray Bollinger.
Yep.
Who
I did not see last night. Was he there?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I didn't see him
Ray.
either. But
Brandon had his crew there. But Brandon's win last night, and I remember when Brandon was a little kid, but his win last night was number 11 on the season.
Really?
Yeah.
And one of the other guys picked up what, 551?
520
521.
521. Okay.
I wonder who that could be.
I wonder who that could be. I don't know. It could be like 71-year-old Gary Webb, maybe.
Absolutely.
I mean,
wow. And it was great again, as always. And you know, he kind of shrugs his shoulders and because he likes winning anyway.
Well, he likes racing.
And he likes
you know, every part of it. I've never, in all the years I've been working the tracks, I just figured it out today. I've been working 7 years at racetracks, and most of those racetracks involve Gary Webb, and he is never upset. You know, he might be, I don't understand why that happened, but it is what it is. And just, you know, and when he comes and draws his number, he pulls it out, sets it down, walks away. He doesn't even look at it. He says, I'll find out when I see the lineup.
That's right. Boy, we got a ton of people watching. Hey, if you were at the Fall Bash or at the Bull Ring, just chime in. What were your takeaways from the weekend at Fall Bash and the Bull Ring? And we appreciate you all tuning in today. Another takeaway last night was Sport Compacts, $1,000 to win. 30 cars signed in, 26 started the feature, 10 finished.
10 finished. I heard a couple hoods were thrown. If somebody was watching out there, I won't say the names, but I had to have a conversation with him last night, and we got it resolved. But little tempers flaring, but you know that happens at the end of the season. It's people are getting edgy out there, so.
Well, and last night, you know, Dirt Car versus IMCA, they don't race with those guys.
No, they don't. And you know what? Looking through the results, I mean, I don't know so much on the four-cylinder guys because I don't know who was what in that other than our local guys. And we kind of got a makeshift set of rules, too, so it's hard to say what rules we follow sometimes. But in the other classes, it was a good mix. It wasn't like one dominated over the other. You know, I think other than late models, I think every class was a UMP car that won. I can't remember who won the street stocks now.
Rob
Henry. So that was a normal car. But I don't know that many of the UMPs. I know there were a couple. Craig Hughes was there, and
Craig Hughes and Justin Thomas. Good run in the feature. Ended up third. And then one guy, a guy from Streeter, I can't think of his name now, was there, but never got the car running. Number 27.
Yep, number 27 never made it out.
He came out for hot laps and he got black flagged. I don't know what that issue was.
Oh, I never heard about that.
Never got a green flag, and then he came out for his heat race and never couldn't start. So,
but yeah, it was a good mix. I mean, I said, a lot of people said, "Oh, those UMP cars are just going to run away with it," and they really didn't. I mean,
they didn't.
A couple of them won, but they were still. I know Velos was driving the 19C car, and that could be a UMP car. I don't know. Yeah. I know he has a couple different cars, so I don't know which one that was. But so that was your top two in the mods, and then Casey Frankson, an IMCA car, had a good run. Yep. So nobody dominated like they said they were going to. So
I thought it was a good mixture, whether just the entries or in the results themselves. So,
yeah.
It worked out well. Logan Velos actually was catching Brandon Bollinger.
Was he? Yes. Good. Well, those guys have a little history, too, if I remember correctly.
Did they really?
Well, I don't know if it's them or as much as their fathers, but I heard it could get interesting out there just to see if the fathers get involved. But if Ray wasn't there, then you didn't have that issue. So
Stephen Miller says good racing at the Bull Ring. Yes, I agree. And Nick Jensen, our favorite photographer, says that was exciting seeing Rob win last night. And it was. Rob Henry had a hard luck year, but he's getting it geared up just in time for next weekend. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully next day. Yeah, hopefully.
Fourth time's the charm.
Knock on some kind of wood here.
That's right. And Rob Henry's the only two-time winner of the Ron Martin.
And I know talking to his wife a few weeks ago, she said he's got to get his crap together because she wants 3.
Yeah, so, there you go.
You don't care what he wants. She wants 3.
She wants number 3.
So if last night was any indicator, he's coming after it.
But turn our attention to just drivers of the week and guys that
man, there are so many of them.
They had, I mean, we could go through the entire Fall Bash list, and a lot of guys had good runs.
Yep.
I mean, I got to go, and a couple of these I didn't even change from last week. They're still on my list. Spencer Dirks.
Spencer Dirks. I mean, how can you not go with Spencer Dirks?
Right. He went with the throwback. He had the Davey Allison throwback on it. He got 7th place on Thursday, runner-up on Friday night, and took home the top prize on Saturday. Yep. It was $3,000 to win. He got a $2,000 bonus for having a throwback.
And that came from Travis Denning, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. And, you know, I'll say the same. He's on the top of the list, but I'm also going to throw out Jeff Ike. I don't remember exactly
What
where he
a
finished,
drive.
but he went in as a provisional starting 25th, and
I think Kevin Feller told me he got 5th.
I was going to say, I think he's top 5. I couldn't remember exactly where, and it wasn't because cars were dropping out. I think we only lost 3 cars, so he drove through that entire field.
26th to 5th at the end of Saturday night's
Yep.
feature. And I got to leave Gary Webb on there, picking up career win number 521 last night.
Yep, I'll go along with that too.
And I don't care, and I don't care how many cars were there. A win's a win.
A win's a win, exactly. and at 71 years old, to even be able to climb in and out of the car is a win. So the fact that he can go out and get in and out of the car and go out and win, that's plenty of wins.
Beginning of the season, I always hand out driver profile sheets and let the drivers fill them out. Some do, some don't, and that's okay. The ones that do fill them out, I talk about a lot because they give me the information.
Well, yeah, you get info.
And, well, one thing, and Gary put on his, is that after 49 years, it's still exciting to climb in a race car.
Yep, that's good. I'm sure when it becomes not exciting, and that's when I'll hang it up.
Absolutely.
Although I heard a rumor, I don't know if there's a rumor or just somebody said something, that last night was the first night he ever won a big check.
Yes.
So he says he's done. He's accomplished everything now. So.
Yeah, he had never received a big check like that.
That's crazy. And all the wins that man has, that's the only big check he's got. So.
Kevin Schroeder, well, first of all, Stephen Miller again. Logan is a good racer for his age. They call him the master for the reason.
He's going to be that is the future of the sport right there. That kid's going to.
He is an athlete. He's also a wrestler and a cross country runner, and he's going to be good.
And from what I hear, he's good in both of those as well. So
He is. He just ran a season best by winning a dual cross country meet against Rock Island the other day. I heard.
Nice.
So Kevin Schroeder says good racing at Tipton Thursday night. He had 6 layers on at midnight.
6 layers on at midnight.
So you still came under, Kevin, on this.
But he was
6.5.
closer than everybody else.
Yes, he was. And Jenny, hey, Jenny, we had a great night again at the Bull Ring last night, and we agree. Weather looks great for the 2-day show coming up this weekend at the Bull Ring. 2 o'clock start. We'll talk about more, but 2 o'clock start both days for hot laps. And so it'd be nice in the sunshine, because that was one thing during the hot summer. It was nice when the sun went over
down, and now it's going to be nice to have the sun out.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. Yeah, because but before hot laps, it was cold already in the tower. Chris Hessling says Logan might have won with a few more laps. He may have.
Yeah.
He may have. Bollinger was on a rail, but that was good. Let's see. Mike Thorman asking any takes on the Murdy and Rust deal. Joel Rust ends up upside down.
That, I saw that because I was watching that particular area during that race, and I've even gone back and I looked at you guys put a replay up, or somebody put a replay
Somebody
up.
did, yeah.
That wasn't an intentional takeout.
No.
I will tell you that right now. I know Damon. I don't see him race a lot because we don't have a lot of IMC around here, but I don't think that's his style. That was a deal where everybody, all 3 of them cars wanted that win.
They want, and
all three of them were going to win. That's the way it was going to be. Had that not happened, I wouldn't have won it. Well, I would have been the guy helping score it, but that was going to be a tough one. And they went in that corner hard, and I don't think it was so much as that Murdy got into him. I think he caught a berm, and that took him. But I will say
that's what it looked like on the contact.
the fact that he was out of that car within a couple seconds was kudos to whoever built that chassis, because it did because he spun at least 4 times in the air, and I don't know how many times after he went out of view. So,
and also I noticed as he's hitting he's hitting the berm, hitting the cushion there in turn 4. The left side came up off the ground
right
before the contact,
and that's what I think is. Had maybe Murdy bumping him, sent him that way. He might not have flipped if the bump wouldn't have been there, but that was starting before they got together.
No doubt about it. Hey, Brenda Montgomery in there, wondering if we have a copy of the memorial for Britt Montgomery, and yes, we do, Brenda. We're working on that. We're going to post it on the Facebook page as soon as we get it edited and put on. Randy Welch, is Davenport still having that race on October 30th? Yes. I talked to Ricky Kai on Thursday. It's going to be an enduro, 4 and 6 cylinders only. But yes, they're going to do it. Yes, they're still going to do it on October 30th.
I think there's still more details to come, so keep watching, because I haven't
no
heard
rules have
everything
been
yet
set or
either.
nothing
So
yet. So I'd like to have them. I'd like to do like the Lone Star 600 sometime.
That would be really cool to do.
Kenny Wallace and Bobby Pierce ran that this weekend. And
Did they?
They had over 160 cars down
Really?
there at Devil's Bowl Speedway in Mesquite, Texas.
I see. Now, I told Ricky, one of the things I've always wanted to do at that racetrack, and I know I've heard this from other people too, is do a lap on the quarter, lap on the half. So that would be really cool as an enduro. That's the only time you could probably get away with it as an enduro race because
Right.
they're going to run into each other anyways. So, but that would make it an interesting. I don't think he's going to do it. So anybody out there, if you want to see that, it's not happening this year. I don't think.
Yeah, and probably not this year. No. Some other drivers that stuck out to me last night. The $1,000 winner of the Sport Comebacks at the Bull Ring, Shane Kelly, had that car going. That's a new car for him. In fact, the Chris Corson that rolled over last night, that he has Shane Kelly's old car. But not only did he win $1,000 last night and his first win at the Bull Ring, but that was Shane Kelly's first win of 2020.
Was it really?
Yes.
When he led all but 6 laps, if I remember correctly, because there was lap money put up for it, and I had to give him most of the envelopes. So,
Yep.
I think there was 6 laps before him, and then he took over, and that was it. And he came in late. That wasn't even sure he was going to make it. He texted Corey to draw for him, and he drew good. Corey was surprised because normally he's like me and draws in the 90s and the 100s. So he's like, now he's got to come. He's got a good starting spot for the heat race. So
Yep. Go back to takeaway. What you're talking about drawing. We were sitting there together Friday at the Fall Bash, and guys were coming up and drawing, and they were able to do the buyback. $10. And Ray Cox walks up. He draws what? We draw a 96.
96.
Then when was it? 98 or something like that. And then he drew one more, and finally said, hey, try with your left hand. He drew a deuce or something.
Yeah. So, well, then we were telling everybody that the rest of the night, we kept saying it's kind of like having another girlfriend reaching in there. So,
Right.
But then there was other techniques that other guys were using that we can't use on the PG version. So, but we learned a lot about drawing skills this weekend on how to get lucky numbers because
That's right. 3 draws with the right hand, 1 draw with the left.
draw with the left.
It's going to
Yep.
cost you $30, but what the heck, And right, Mitch Current says in that Lone Star 600, Hot Carl also.
Hot Carl.
That one, yeah. Hot
I know
Carl.
Timmy Current was trying to get a hold of Hot Carl to get him at the Fall Bash this year.
Unbelievable. And then now we move on to our technology talk and what goes on with DoneRight.tv. We're really not going to talk about too much technology, but breaking news. It kind of happened off the cuff this afternoon, and I didn't coordinate it very well, but it worked out. DoneRight.tv will be the official pay-per-view provider of the 21st annual Georgia State Outlaw Championships, November 20th through 21st. So we'll be down at Screven Motorsports Complex in Sylvania, Georgia on that weekend. And I can't wait. Been working back and forth with the great Kelly Carlton, who he's been all over the place, and NDRL, and now is the owner and promoter of the SCDRA front wheel drive national series, and he's the general manager and events coordinator down at Screven, and the great owner down there, Rick Griffin. So we are signed up to do the 21st Georgia State Outlaw Championships on November 20th and 21st.
Nice.
Down at Screven Motorsports. And more exciting announcements coming soon on that. By the way, it'll be the SCDRA and the Bandit 602 late models are headlining those 2 days down at Screven. So looking forward to it. That's one track, even when I lived down there, I never got a
made
chance
it to it.
go.
Nope, I can't say I've ever been there either.
And made it up
If you need somebody to go along, I might be available.
Right on. We'll keep that. And we got a lot of other things in the works, but nothing that's in concrete. But we'll have more exciting announcements coming soon. So looking forward to Georgia there, Kelly. I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And again, working with the great Kelly Carlton and Rick Griffin is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll throw something in there on the technology side if I could. And this is, a lot of people know this. We use RacePass at all the tracks I work at. And I'm just going to say, with 592 total entries at the Fall Bash this weekend, if I didn't have RacePass to do it with, I probably wouldn't do it. Although before, a couple years ago, we used to do it all by hand. But And even Saturday, I mean, we waited and we waited and we waited to make lineups, and I made lineups 5 minutes before they go hot laps. You know, if I had to write all that out,
Oh my.
all I had to do was hit a button and we're rocking and rolling. So if racetracks don't have this stuff, they need to get it because it just helps out so much.
Well, it's gonna help with the pay-per-view as well because we can at the tracks that use transponders, we can put that live timing and scoring on our
You can do a lot
pay-per-view.
with it, yeah.
And we're getting to that point with the new the updated equipment that we're getting and the new technology that we're diving into, and I can't say enough about the people at both My Race Pass and Race Monitor and how they've helped and get us to this point where we can expand and go out.
Yeah, now if those two guys at the tracks would help you get the stuff better. You send me this stuff, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Watch a video, okay, I might be able to find that.
But that's okay. I didn't either, so I'm just gonna knock it off on Brett and Derek, and then come to find out, you know, according to I can't think of his first name now, Ross from My Race Pass. He's been fantastic to work with, and he does say that unless they're using transponders,
None of it will work. Yeah,
it
that's
won't
what I
work.
was worried about.
Yeah, it won't work, and so you guys were doing everything right along that line.
Well, and that's what as I was watching that video, I was thinking, yeah, I think this has got to be live timing and stuff to work, but
It does. I got one piece of feedback that said no, you should still be able to get lineups, but then obviously we found that wasn't true.
yeah.
So we just motored on from there. One of the things that some people, you can chime in on this. What's your favorite saying on the back of a spoiler that you've seen? And I know I saw one at the Fall Bash that said "Bye Felicia." I like that one.
Yeah, bye Felicia. Hey, haven't you guys had some Felicia issues this year? Or something?
We could have, but hey, what's your favorite saying that you've seen on the back of a spoiler? And I know John Padilla's got a good one too.
I'm trying. There's a couple of them
can't
I've seen
remember.
this weekend, and I'm trying to remember what they were. But they're like, yeah, that's pretty good. You know, a lot of them do the haters keep hating, and
Yeah.
your girlfriend doesn't hate me or something like that. So
That's right. I like, and myself, I like the ones I know. I think the Pescas, a couple of the Pescas, and Devin Gilpin down in Indiana. They have scripture on the back of their spoilers, so I like that also.
Yeah.
But, what do you think, or what are some of the good things that you've seen on the back of spoilers? They come up with some good ones. I finally asked Steve Gustav about his. It said
Yeah.
Alabama Hammer.
I don't think we can talk about that.
can't talk
Yeah,
about
no,
that.
I didn't.
No, that's-
I only heard bits and pieces of that, but that seemed very. That would have to go with the Facebook Live one.
Yeah, that's right. Mitch Current says Dusty Days and Dirty Nights.
Dusty Days and Dirty Nights.
Yes. And Kyle Hawkins is saying, we can wreck them both if you want.
Yeah.
Very good. Keep them coming. What are your favorite things on the back of spoilers? Hey, I know you got Fall Bash by the numbers.
I do got Fall Bash by the numbers. You know, as I said earlier, we had 592 total entries. And I don't know how I got this off Timmy Current's Facebook, so I'm assuming he went through and looked. 354 of them were not doubles. So 592 was the whole weekend added up. So there's double drivers in there. And just to put that into perspective, 592 drivers went to little old Tipton, Iowa, and 900 went to Boone for 7 days. So, you know, we're catching you, Boone. I'm not putting Boone down by any means, but we're catching you. So, when you look at those numbers, if 354 is actually by competitor, that's pretty good. I mean, that means a lot of double drivers didn't come back. But the fun part, we did 103 races and 969 green flag laps.
My goodness.
I don't know about the yellows. I
Where'd
didn't
the
count the
9
yellows.
come from?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, yes, I do.
I did hear
There was
like
one
a
that
7 or
there was
something.
one ended up under yellow.
Gotcha.
Yep. So 969 green flag laps.
I
That's
believe it.
crazy.
That is crazy. And
That means Kevin Feller, myself, and Marcia and Derek were writing numbers for 969 laps.
unbelievable.
No wonder why my hand's tired.
Hey, back of the spoiler, Ginger Lane, she puts powered by Bud Light and stripper glitter.
That's one I've seen. Yep.
I
Yep.
remember, I've seen that as well.
Now, one of the other numbers I had, we were off the other day last week when we said this was the 5th or 6th. It actually, the very first one was in 2013. So
this was
minus the rain out.
right.
This
rain out.
yeah, this is the 7th.
Seventh.
So,
I
and
did hear somebody say 7th over the weekend.
I'm gonna look at the list here and try to see if there are any double winners. And until this year, there are not.
That's amazing.
Joel Rust is the first double winner. I gotta double check that and verify that, but Joel Rust won it in 2019 and 20, and nobody else has won it in 2 nights. Has won it back to back or more than once since then.
Well, Joel Rust also won the Reinhardt this year.
Yeah.
So he's hot up there too.
Yes, he is, and probably would have run the stock car race had he not went for a little trip in the air.
Absolutely.
So. But yeah, 2013 was the first one. I forgot about that one. I didn't have any results from that one. That was my first year. But I wasn't doing any scoring or anything then yet, so I didn't have anything written down. So, and Ryan DeShaw won that very first one.
Did he
So,
really?
yep. And Jeremiah Hurst won the second.
Excellent. And we haven't really talked about the late models on Thursday night. That was kind of a deal put together at the last minute.
That was a neat deal. That's I'm glad you brought that up. They had really good tributes, 3 really good tributes this weekend. The one with the late models with Brad Coyne and Terry Neal pulled his car out there, and Kelly Meyer had Chuck Meyerhofer's car out there, and I think I was talking to Kelly. I don't remember exactly on the date, but I believe he said it was 9 years since that car was last on the racetrack.
I'll be darned.
And he pretty much just took it out there and raced it. And he said, had something not broke, it would have been better than he was. But he said, I was looking at the air the whole time, so I don't know. He said, I don't know how people drive like that. You can't see nothing but the air.
All by instinct.
All
I
by
think.
instinct. And then Friday night, the tribute to Britt Montgomery with Kyle and Brad out there in the front stretch. I got to give it to Ryan and Tim for putting that together. That was great for all 3 of them.
Great job by everybody on that as well. And Levi Heath just tuned in. And Levi, hey, you had a good run, I think, in your heat race the other night, and made one of the features. So congratulations. I know you're trying to work the bugs out of that number 9H Sport Mod on that. And let's see. Again, we're taking your favorite sayings on the back of a spoiler of a race car. Just chime in there on Facebook. Looking at the crowds. Obviously, Saturday we get that, but Friday I go out there and there wasn't a whole lot of places to sit.
No, there wasn't. And I was actually talking to Shane Davis today, and he says he thinks that before the storm that place seated 1,000, and just kind of visually you're probably looking at 750, 800 with the bleachers they set up. So they didn't lose a whole lot. I was worried about that when I seen the size of the bleachers, but. So, yeah, they had a real good crowd Thursday, I think, and Friday. And, yeah, like I said,
It was more than I thought, though. Really.
Saturday was
Yes.
because of the rain.
There
Yep,
was
I
more
agree.
people there than I thought there was going to be.
I agree.
It was a late arriving crowd. I remember going out right before we went on, and some people may have been hanging out in the campers or in their
Yep.
cars, because then I went out a little bit later, and it was a lot fuller.
Yeah.
So hats off to all the fans that braved the conditions and hung around as well.
Yeah, because they couldn't have been comfortable sitting on them wet bleachers after that. Wet, cold metal does not work good on most tushies.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, and another takeaway back to those is that I'm not a big fan of ladders and heights and all that. So if I would have put an over under on the amount of times I climbed a ladder that weekend, it would have been 1. But I was on the ladders and
Yeah?
yeah, that was.
So is that how he drew the short straw to be up in the lift?
No, we're going to rotate, but you guys ran such an efficient
Oh
show.
yeah, Doug doesn't
just
stop.
stay up there.
I mean, and you got to, or we'd be
Yeah.
racing. I mean, he doesn't stop, and we were racing till midnight every night. So
No,
if you waste time in between, you're going to be there till 2 or 3 in the morning. And people come to watch racing; they don't come to watch us sit out there in the infield. So
right. Hey Brian, just getting in. He says late to the party. What did I miss? Is that we're talking
a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
We've been rambling for 40 minutes, Brian. Go back and watch it again on. It'll be up there. Mitch Current says my other car says what goes around comes around. Yeah. Yep. And Levi Heath says I'm having a hard time reading it. open, let me squeeze by you or something like that.
Open up, let me squeeze by.
Yeah.
I know Keith Hayslip in the past has had hiking and spiking, or spiking and hiking, or something like that on there. So
Awesome. Some other good runs over the weekend. Well, we talked about Joel Russ. That's his second straight, not only Fall Bash, but he won the Reinhardt Memorial, and then he picked up the win on Thursday night.
and I'll throw Tyler Drosty in that mix too, because Thursday night he was running second, and I don't know what happened. He just all of a sudden I hear caution, I turn around, and he's turned around on the backstretch. So, and then Saturday night he did what that car does and hits infield tires. And I don't know how many times when Ryan was driving that car, I seen it come by with that left front wheel flopping around. I was like, oh, okay, so we did it again.
Yeah.
But all 3 nights, and he did pick up
then
Friday night.
got the one.
But all 3 nights he was in contention until something happened, and I think even if we wouldn't have got the caution with that wheel flopping, I mean, he was still running hard. So I know Doug lets them stay out there until they start to, or a caution comes out or they start to cause problems. And caution came out and take it in. So
Awesome. And Johnny Spa had good
Johnny
runs.
Spa, yep, and he probably
2 wins
could've-
and a second.
Yep, I would say he probably could have had that one on Thursday. So it was a good night, and Brayton Carter pulled off 2. Soppy pulled off the 1. Caden Reynolds doubled down on the hobby stock, and I think he got second in the mod light on Friday,
Right.
or micro mod to them. But so he had a good run. Justin Kai, I mean, that guy has good runs everywhere he goes. So he's kind of like him and Spencer Dirks. I don't know what they're doing. Anybody wants to know about setting up a race car to win, go look at either one of them cars,
Yes.
because all they do is win. So, but it's just, and I'll throw this out too. Matt Hudspeth held off that 38 car in the
Yes,
airs.
he did. By golly, for in the airs.
In the airs, yeah. I'm like, oh, somebody's got a bigger motor than that 38 car.
Well, and he was talking. He was talking about that's his second car this year. He
Yeah.
sold the other one, and so yeah, we just kind of threw this one together. And
Well, and I think he's beat that 38 car once before this year too. So,
and McCoquet, I believe,
Yep.
he beat him.
yep. So no, just a good week, and I'm excited coming into the Ron Marks. That's going to be a good race. Corey and I were talking last night. I think we're going to do some things. I think we're gonna do the extra redraw thing for the street stocks and maybe the mod lights, because they're running
800 to
for
win.
800 to win too, so a little bit of a special for them. So we're talking about doing the extra redraw for that, and haven't decided where the money's going to go yet, but it could very well be we put 24 chips in a bag and we pull one out and they get it. So I'm not sure where that's going to end up yet, and then I got to talk to Timmy Current, make sure he's okay with this. So if you're listening, Timmy, let me know. We may do a team challenge up there too, just to have a little bit more fun. So I think the Marks race is going to be a good one. I know there's a couple drivers that are upset because they can't make it on Saturday, and just what do we do? Yeah. We're running out of weekends, so
This is the last weekend that the Petersons are allowed to have the racetrack.
Right.
So,
right.
The Fair Board takes over for their inside storage and that kind of thing. So my hat's off to Jenny and Todd and Corey for putting on a 2-day deal here the second weekend.
Well,
of
we had a
October.
few conversations about this race next year too, so keep watching, and maybe some exciting news coming out very soon on this particular race that's coming up. The Fall Harvest
Harvest Havoc.
Harvest Havoc. So it may coincide with another fall. Again, there's got to be some conversations had, but
Right.
we're Corey and I had a discussion last night about making this race a little bit bigger next year. So
And you, I mean, to make it bigger, already you got the Ron Marks Memorial on Saturday with plus 800 to win for the mod lights, and then on Sunday you got the midgets and the Nostalgic Stock Car Racing Club and Illinois Vintage working together, and Cheaters Day. So
and Cheaters Day, and I thought I read in there somewhere they're doing Powder Puff and mechanic races on Sunday as well.
mechanic races as well on Sunday, and Sunday, by the way, brought to you by Dunright.tv.
Dunright.tv. Have you ever heard of them?
I have.
They've been around this year, from what I hear.
Well, we just, and I didn't look at the updated, but we're over 80 nights of racing.
80 nights of racing, and
and
still
approaching
going.
80 events and still going.
Wow.
So we're going. Nick, this coming weekend is going to be really interesting. We'll get into that a little bit later. Jenny Smith says might have a band this Saturday night. Also,
That's Todd made that comment as I was getting ready to leave. He said I'm going to look for a band. So, and I know there are people that were asking about camping. So if you're wanting to camp, reach out to the Facebook page. I think they're going to try to set something up for people to camp over. So I don't think it'll be dark side style camp out yet this year, but who knows what next year might bring.
no, you never know. Kyle Hawkins says, yeah, team challenge for sure.
And if we do it, I'm going to do it the same way we did it at the Fall Bash. To just team up with whoever you want.
Yep.
So
Good deal. And as we take a look, I know on Saturday again, Ron Marks Memorial. I like the shift to a Saturday. I know some of the
I
drivers.
do too. I think
like the
it's
shift
going to be
Saturday.
better. I think we're going to lose some, but how many of those Illinois and Indiana guys couldn't make it on Sunday? I mean, I know we're starting earlier on Sunday again,
Right.
if I read correctly. I thought I read we were doing 2 o'clock hot laps again on Saturday and Sunday.
Correct.
So how many of them that might not have come down are now going to be able to? So I think even though we're losing a couple, and I feel bad for the couple we're losing, and I'm sorry that we're losing you, I don't mean to sound like I don't care about it, but I think it's going to end up better.
Yep. Jenny says yes, camping also.
Camping also. There you go. So I'm assuming they reach out to either the fairgrounds or I'd start with the Facebook page, message them, find out about camping, if there's a charge and where you can camp at. And if there's a band there, it could be a good weekend.
Good.
So,
hey, we're also looking forward to going down to Lee County Speedway in Donaldson Friday and Saturday for their fall extravaganza. And they got late models modifieds running for $1,000 to win both nights.
I
And-
think they upped the modifieds.
Did they really?
Yes.
Okay.
Kevin, I don't remember the number, but it went up. Kevin Feller was just telling me that he found out Thursday night at the Fall Bash that they were up in the payout for the mods.
Okay. Yeah,
Check out the Lee County page to verify that, but that's what I have been told.
deal.
It's one of those I heards.
Well, I know they upped the Sport Compacts. They redid the flyer and everything. Sport Compacts on Saturday, Friday night $200 to win. Saturday night $3,000
Maybe
to
that.
win.
Okay, that might be what I heard.
Yes, I think so because
that number
it was
sounds like
2,000 and now it's up to 3,000.
3,000 for sport compacts.
Yes.
Wow.
On Saturday night, October 2nd. So late models, modifieds are 1,000 to win. Stock cars are 1,000 to win, and I take that back. Modifieds are 1,500 to win on Saturday. Stock cars are 1,000 and 1,250. Sport mods are 1,000 and 1,250. Sport compacts are 200 on Friday and 3,000 to win on Saturday down at Lee County Speedway.
Now that's IMCA rules, correct?
I
know it's not sanctioned,
Not
but-
sanctioned, but mostly IMCA rules.
Okay,
yeah.
so that should not affect the Ron Marks race. So anybody at home thinking it's going to, we do allow IMCA cars to come race it, but we don't normally get more than 2 or 3, so that shouldn't affect that race at all.
Oh heck, hot laps are at 6 o'clock at.
Oh yeah,
Donaldson.
you
We
can
might
go.
Be done.
Yeah, we might be able to leave Moline and go to Donaldson.
Right, if you're not camping and partying at East Moline,
Yeah.
go down to Donaldson. Another thing that we have going Friday night, we'll be double booked again, not only at Lee County, but we'll be down at the Peoria Speedway for the March Championship weekend. March Super Late Models they're at Peoria on Friday, Fairbury on Saturday, and LaSalle on Sunday, and we will be at least at Peoria and LaSalle.
Okay.
And on Dunright.tv and also MarsRacing.tv. But
Nice.
We're providing the production for that. And Saturday or Friday night's race will be $5,000 to win at Peoria. Another run for $10,000 at Fairbury, and Sunday's race $15,000 to win at LaSalle on the March Championship racing.
Wow, that'd be a good race.
Yeah, well, will they have hobby stocks at the Ron Mark? Lucas, I don't think so. I don't think I'll have to look it up real quick.
I should have brought the flyer with me.
Yeah, well, I got it right here on Facebook.
Okay.
But I know Daniel Waters is planning on having that 01 car there to run the Ron Marks.
There you go. I can't remember if hobby stocks will be part of it or not. I suppose if you called them up and said I have 12 cars coming, they'd probably put you on the list.
They might. And I don't believe it was. Pulling up the looking. No, Mod Lights 800 to win. Hobby Stocks. I forgot.
Stocks are on there,
500 to win for Hobby Stocks.
Okay.
I forgot all about that. Shame on me.
I did too. I'm sorry, Jenny.
Yeah. Sorry, Jenny. Sorry, Lucas. 500 to win for Hobby Stocks. Get that number 8L down here, buddy.
Yep.
And,
Bring some friends with you.
Bring some friends. 500 to win Hobby Stocks. IMCA rules. 500 to win Hobby Stocks.
Here, I'm going to throw this out here right now to all the Hobby Stocks listening. I will pay for the 10th entries pit pass and the Hobby Stocks that night. The 10th car that comes down, I'll pay that pit pass.
There you go. There's an incentive for you. And we did this at a couple other tracks, and all of a sudden people started, yeah, I'll pay for this, I'll pay for that, and that's great.
I want to see a full field, but I'll go with 10. I'd rather see 10 over 6, so I'm gonna pay the 10th car's pit pass.
Yeah, Kevin Feller says everybody think of me Saturday with the Sport Compacts paying $3,000 to win. It's going to be kind of like last night, 40 will start and you'll have 8 out there at the end, so it'll be a piece of cake.
No, that's right. I shouldn't broadcast this too loud. I got a score Saturday night for Kevin, so my good buddy Derek will be down to run the race pass for me that night. So
right on. So it'll be you and Kenny up
me and Kenny up in the tower.
All right.
I've only scored one race at Moline this year, so I hope I can do it again.
No problem. No problem. And Warren Haas puts prayers up. And Lucas Short saying he's coming.
All right.
I'll be coming.
All right.
All right, Lucas, we're looking forward to it.
Bring 9 friends with you, and I got your pit pass.
Hey, that's right. Get the Vorringers and all those guys.
Oh, they went to stock cars, so I don't know.
Whoa,
Yep,
okay.
I don't know. And they might be able to convert them back. I don't know what all they changed to do that.
I forgot they went to stock car. Well, they were running Hobby Stocks when they ran in Davenport, so they went in the middle of the season, didn't
Yeah,
they?
it was towards the end when they went over to IMCA stock cars.
Gotcha. Mike Morrow just came in. Hey, good run last night, Mike Morrow. It looked great, and I saw him pay kudos to John Padilla and some other folks on Facebook today. So
Yeah.
Great run last night.
Mike ended
Morrow.
up second, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But boy, is RJ Gonzalez on a
Oh, Jesus.
holy cow! I think he told me he'd won 7 in a row, and then he got beat the last race, and then won again last night. But he seems to think he has 7 or 8 wins this year.
Well, he does have another one, but something happened in the tech area. So
Oh, gotcha. And he
Towards the
also
beginning
won.
of
I
the
think he won at Peoria or someplace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jenny says bring 19 friends. Yeah, we'll take a full field.
maybe
of Hobby Stocks.
Jenny will pay for the 20th car if I got to 10th.
Right, and I'll pay for the 30th car.
Okay. That's a safe bet. There you go. 3 cars are going to get in free if you get up to 30.
Right. So Mod Lights, and I saw a bunch of the Mod Lights guy cross posting on Mod Light web Facebook pages and all that today for that 800 to win. So
Now, is that a Stars rules race?
that'll be a
Okay.
Stars race.
I was
Yep.
say because I bet we could get some of the micro guys to come down too, but I don't think they qualify for the Stars rules.
That's right. And, Brian Brunchine says, "Hey, anybody got a Mod Light? I have a driver."
Yeah,
And,
yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. He's got a neat little driver. In fact, I took a picture the other day. I think it was it was Friday, right after they opened draw, and the big line that went all the way back around the pit shack and out, and coming up to draw, standing together were Ray Smullen and Chase Brunchine.
Yeah,
Is that our future right
that
there?
is our future, and get little Velos in there. I mean, I know he's a little bit older than them guys, but
Right.
yeah, and you know what? They're all talented. So
I think Race is 12 and Chase, I believe, is 12 as well.
yep.
And I may be off a year or two, but
And I think Logan, 14 maybe? Or
Yeah.
is he in the 15 now?
I believe he's 15 going on 16. I
Okay.
believe, yeah.
Okay.
Right. Jerry Mackey says, Brett, thanks for all your help at the bash. You make our job much easier. Much
Yeah,
appreciated.
I look forward to seeing Jerry Mackey. He's kind of like Shane Davis. He's a wealth of knowledge. Might all be BS, but you know
Yep.
what? He knows how to produce it and put it out there. So
Us announcers, we know how to be our
that's right. You know what? You got to.
Yep.
You know, if you're gonna lie about something, at least be confident when you do it, and the people will believe you.
That is absolutely right.
No, working with Jerry and Big Boy, other than it gets pretty tight in that tower. I almost killed him Saturday night coming in. I had my backpack on, and the door's only so wide, and I'm already so big, and he was standing there, and I went to turn, and my backpack got him, and we almost didn't have Jerry on Saturday.
And he was all bundled up too.
He was all bundled up too and drinking coffee. And at one time, I think he was drinking just hot water just to have something hot. And
Right. Well, he's a fellow school bus driver.
Yeah.
I do that on that, and Brian says Chase is 12. So
Chase is 12. Okay.
and he had to leave on Thursday
Yeah, to
night.
go home and drive
Go
a
home
school
and drive a
bus.
school bus.
I know. He was jealous because he didn't get a nap in. And Big Boy and I were like, oh, we took a nap today.
Big Boy said he had 2.
He had 2. I only got
Jeez.
1. He got 2. And Jerry was jealous because he had to drive bus all day.
Yeah. Yep. And I didn't get a nap in either on
I really didn't either. I mean, I closed my eyes. That was about it.
Gotcha.
And that was on the drive to Tipton. So
I think all of us did that. Yeah. But well, it was fun. We got everything put together, and it was a great weekend. Over at the Bull Ring. And again, this coming weekend, wow, we're going to be Peoria and Donaldson on Friday night. We'll be at East Moline and Donaldson on Saturday, and on Sunday we'll be at the Bull Ring and LaSalle. So that's what's coming up on DoneRight.tv. And then
busy weekend.
next weekend, I'm just going off the top of my head. Oh, Oskaloosa. We'll be at Oskaloosa
Okay.
for the Fall Challenge. And I think I've said this before, the Fall Challenge has been going on since I've been that tall.
Yeah.
But
Now, is Dunright doing the Enduro at Davenport too, or is that going to be?
we'll be at
okay.
the Enduro on October 30th. I checked with Ricky Kai on that on Thursday night at the Fall Bash. So 24th, the weekend of the 24th and 25th, nothing right now. So take a breath.
Take a night off.
And then the next weekend we'll be at Davenport for the Enduro and Shiverfest at Donaldson.
Shiverfest at Donaldson. Yep, that's another one's been going on for a lot of years. So
Yes, and then we get into November. We'll be down at CJ for the Turkey Bash.
Yep.
And so hopefully we'll be the good luck and Mother Nature will stay.
I was gonna say, has that race ever happened? The Turkey
I
Bash.
believe it happened once.
Once?
I remember,
Okay.
In fact, when I was in Florida, I remember reading about it on the website. I believe it happened. It happened at least once. So,
Okay.
but the 2 times and it started 2 years ago. I was down there. I was working lineups, and so they got some of the racing in, and then the rains came.
The rains came. Yep.
And then last year didn't get anything in, and
Yeah, I think it was.
Weekend.
I think it
gonna
was
be a 2-day
raining
deal.
and snowing that weekend. So
And it was going to be a 2-day deal.
Yep.
So we didn't get anything in last weekend. Looking forward to that on the 7th, and then again on November 20th and 21st. We're headed to Georgia.
Georgia,
Yeah,
as I say, even if you need a driver,
absolutely.
I've driven to Georgia before. I could
It's actually a nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice drive.
love going through Tennessee.
Ginger Lane says the first year that the Turkey Bash was scheduled, it actually happened because she won a turkey.
She won a turkey.
Yeah.
All right.
How about that? And Kevin Feller confirms that first year it happened.
He probably didn't win a turkey though.
No, he didn't win turkey, but Ginger did. So,
Ginger got a turkey.
so that's cool.
So if she wins this year, we know where we're going for Thanksgiving.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. That's great. Well, it's been wow, what a busy weekend, and been great sitting here talking about it. As far as the Team Dunright cars, we told you the Ken Roberts cars. I saw he was watching a little while ago. So Kenny, hello and thank you, and for letting Dunright be part of your team. They're off to Wheatland for the 7th annual Fall Nationals, and that's MLRA. And Jeremiah Hurst, third in points and leading the rookie points.
Really?
in MLRA.
Good.
Yep. So he's close to Rookie of the Year, and they did a write-up that he still has a mathematical shot at the championship.
Really?
So,
Good.
so we'll see. I think it's
That'd be cool.
Peyton Looney, who we saw win at the Bull Ring,
Mm-hmm.
and then he went down and dusted the Lucas Oil guys down at Wheatland in a race. But Peyton Looney, Chad Simpson is still second, and Jeremiah's running third in points.
He can do it, but that's going to be a stout field to do it against. So
No doubt about it. Tyler Soppy, I didn't ask him over the weekend. Got a couple chances to talk to him. I'm guessing he's heading to Donaldson.
I would guess
1,000 to
Donaldson.
win both nights.
Yep. And now that he knows he's got that car working good, that's probably more incentive to go. So
Right. Well, in the production crew, we just gave you the lineup. We got 6 days. We got 3 days and 6 races. So that'll be a lot of fun. And me myself, I'm heading to Peoria on Friday, and then of course be at the Bull Ring Saturday and Sunday. So
I'll be at the Bull Ring Saturday and Sunday, and if you need me somewhere on Friday, I'm probably available.
excellent. All right, folks, checker flags out on this version of the Go Fast podcast, and it will be up in podcast form as well. We're on 6, and I forgot to have that note in front of me. We're on 6 different podcast formats, so just check it out. I know Spotify is one of them, Anchor's another one, and then there's 4 or 5 others. So check us out on the podcast as well. That helps get our numbers up, and that allows the other podcast platforms to take a look at that and say, hey, this would be a great one for ours. Pull it over to their platform. So been a lot of fun. Thanks, sir, as always.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you next Monday as well after the big weekend at the Bull Ring, and we'll have lots to talk about.
We shouldn't be working as late, so I'll get more sleep that time.
Yes, absolutely.
I think I'm at about 11 hours sleep now since Thursday. So
I got a little more than that
little
anyway,
more?
but not a whole lot. So checker flags out on Go Fast. Thanks for joining us. We're always on demand, of course, on Facebook and on YouTube. So check us out. We'll see you at the racetrack this week. God bless, and we'll talk to you later.